Some stories are heard, others become legendary. Welcome to the Becoming Legendary podcast, hosted by Ana-Rita Valente, the visibility architect and the fame activator. Real stories, raw conversations, legendary impact.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Ana-Rita Valente, and I was laughing because my background looks today and me and this light like I'm in the hospital. I promise I am not. Welcome to Becoming, Being, or just Legendary podcasts. Hi, Jeff.
Hey
I
Rita, how you doing?
better than the last time then we should meet.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you have at least power.
Now I have power. Now I'm not at 3,000. Oh, I don't know in feet, but I'm not at. I think it's like almost 10,000 feet of altitude,
Uh-huh.
and so I am adjusting to another place. We are going to have a but you have a very legendary background, let me tell you. What is point one? Who are you?
Yeah. So I'm Jeff Swartz. I've had a 20 plus career in advertising and entrepreneurship.
Hmm.
So my background has kind of culminated into the current chapter that I have right now of I do a couple of different things. So I own an ad tech company that uses GPS tracking to identify that people have been at a very specific location and serving ads because they were at a hyper specific location, and that's called
Fantastic.
Qujam.
Okay.
And then I also teach in the business and marketing department at Duquesne University and and then a couple of other things that I've been lucky enough to do is completing a book called The Intentional Leap: Lessons and Learnings for Newer Entrepreneurs,
Hmm.
and I use that as a platform to do some consulting from time to time under my Intentional Leap consulting brand. Before that, like I said, I was in advertising, I was an entrepreneur, so I am a real estate investor, but I also owned an ad agency for 10 years that I successfully sold, and I was with the acquiring business for about a year and then successfully exited that as well too. And then all my background before that was media buying, advertising sales, all in the marketing vein.
Okay. How many years you are entrepreneur?
Uh, A full-time entrepreneur where I haven't worked for anybody else was about coming up on 12 years in September.
Okay. How old are you? You are young.
41.
41?
Hmm.
Oh, you need to tell me what's going. I'm 45. I start when I was 18 and I was a teenager mom. My first business was, and I promise I will say it in a way, then we'll make some drama. I was a dog dealer.
Okay.
I used to help people to find the best breed of dogs for their lifestyle.
Oh, it's okay.
And I grew up with parents. I grew up in Africa, and my parents were entrepreneurs. And because you are telling me that before we go to all the fantastic things you did and you do, I have a question.
Yeah,
Then
shoot.
is a tricky one, but is a question then I believe we should start talking about. A question we should talk about.
Okay.
Not in my opinion. Let's talk about 2020
Okay.
and the boom of the digital. I'm a digital nomad, but I was always a nomad all my life. I was
Hmm.
international DJ for many, many years. Like I don't remember the first time I fly because I was 3 weeks old.
Okay.
So, but in 2020, I was international DJ, and you can imagine, like, oops.
Yep.
And I start coaching people with visibility, with content, viral content, then I learned so I could be a DJ. Because for DJs, I did came from being famous on my country, then I did not like because I had no control on the narrative.
Hmm.
And I moved to a country where nobody did know me, so I didn't need to tell my story. I create
Okay.
I create a video. I made that video viral. There was the story of a mom of six who was an international DJ,
Hmm.
and and that took me to close TEDx Amsterdam and blah 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 blah. That is me. That is you. 2020 arrive, obviously. Then I did had e-commerce, eBay, Amazon's in the meantime. So before AI, and before I did speak English even, like
Hmm.
um, so the transition for me, first I start coaching how to grow Instagram accounts with ads, what nobody did want to know in that time.
Hmm.
But then I realized there was no demand for that. That it was very important to know. Then, if your people really want the offer, then you are putting on the table. That is a small detail. But
Yeah.
my question for you, it's not that. I I became a business coach, and I became the most frustrated business coach for 3 years.
Hmm.
Because I am not moved. I'm moved by the money, obviously, but I'm moved by progress.
Okay.
I'm moved by achieve things together. And for more strategies than I was giving to my people, in special because I was working with women coming from corporate, 40 plus, who hate technology, who believe the algorithm doesn't love them, all the things, then I don't have that issue because I
Hmm.
understand the game. All this BS that I'm here is to ask you, do you believe all people can be entrepreneurs?
No.
Oh, okay.
Quick answer
You
is
saw how long was my question? Like,
it is. and
thank
and yeah, it's
thank
always a long
God,
journey for that too, huh?
God, because someone needs to talk about this.
Yeah.
Someone
So,
needs to talk about there is I work I did work majority with coaches or people did want to be coaches, and they had great abilities, point. I arrived to a moment and I was like, I'm going to open an agency to sell their service
mhm.
because this is insane. And the quantity of debt, then I saw people, the quantity of money, then I saw people investing, even with me, for 3 years, paying 5 and 10K. And I, 3 years after, I was like, you are just coming here to talk with me.
Mhm.
And doesn't go by, I don't know if you say in English, osmosis. Like it doesn't, it's not because you are in the same room, then like it can help, but so all the people have this dream, and this is a very American dream many times. Like,
Mhm.
I want to live corporate life and I want to be entrepreneur. God, you have no idea what is to be entrepreneur. You
Yeah.
have no idea what happens when Stripe froze your account.
Uh, so
Now, is your podcast, so yes, please.
yeah. So it's a fascinating thing to hear you kind of talk about these things. Because entrepreneurship at its root, I think, it doesn't matter
It's
where you come
kamikaze.
from. What's that?
It's a kamikaze. You are
Yeah.
totally, you get used to be suicidal on not necessary on the YouTube, not necessary on that sense, but on the feeling of like, can thousands of things happen, and you need the skill you need to have is to pivot and
Yes.
be able to.
Yes. Which
And
is it's universal. Like if you want to be able to do these things, it doesn't matter where you're from or where you are. You have to be able to have some kind of understanding and comfort with your risk tolerance
Yes.
and understanding how to assess where you're okay with those things and then being able to adapt to change and adapt to having the ability to pivot. So I think that it's vitally important, and not everybody can do that. And it's really hard for people that are good at that, I find, um, to be able to
Me too.
understand that somebody that doesn't have that skill set, like, well, why don't you just do that?
Do
I
it.
like
Just
it's
do
yes, it's
it. Just
scary. Yes, it's something that you don't really want to do, but it's a necessity that some people get. You just have to push forward and do it. And you have to try it. But some people just aren't wired that way. Actually, the majority of people I think aren't wired that
majority
way.
of people. And I believe my big problem for a long time was as well because I was going through a big depression and I did want to help everyone. And I was I was feeling then the fact that they did not had success, and it was because I was not a good coach. And probably, and I am going to say them, probably I was not a good coach in many times. Why? Because you will know this. There are things who come to us who are obvious, like it's obvious for us. I have an issue to say, oh, that is easy. But many times I had people say, that is easy for you.
Hmm.
Who automatically goes there. Like for me, it's very difficult to delegate many times because explaining something takes me more time than do it.
Hmm.
So, but it was very frustrating because, and you see that on you see that even on ads. And let's talk ads. People have an idea, and let's go back to the offer. People have an idea, they believe it's brilliant. They did not test the market. They don't know what are, I call it the magical spells. I normally, when I want to test the offer, I do, like, for example, we did the booking, right? And you have your answer. So I will ask you, where are you now? Where you want to be? Blah, 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 blah. And I will see after 20 people what are the words who keep coming. Because I
Hmm.
don't use that words because I'm not on that position. But I am the coach. Or I'm not the coach anymore. But it's very interesting because the fact that you are very good swimming, that doesn't mean you are great explaining to people how to swim as you do.
Hmm.
And the value on ads, and coming back to ads, it's like, oh, I had this amazing idea for this amazing product. It's going to be a success. And wow, wow, wow. And in my case, and coming back to the viral story, I did an amazing, it's still online, I can share with you.
Okay.
I did a video then is mega viral. But guess what? When I posted it, did flop.
Hmm.
So what I did, I run ads for engagement in countries with less opportunities, so low budget.
Hmm.
And I showed that to women who did give me the social proof, then brought me the first million, who did allowed me to pitch to TEDx and blah, 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 blah. So I don't, I just, I am here like pouring my soul because I resonate, and I can see then we talk the same language.
Hmm.
But what can be done to people who have this dream of being entrepreneurs? I decided then, if you want my help, if you want to borrow my brain, I'm your teammate. You pay me,
Hmm.
but we work together on a task. And
Yeah.
on a task. So beginning, middle, end. Oh,
Yeah.
you want to be our cover for the magazine? Okay, let's do da 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 da. Finish.
Yeah.
Close the
So
loop.
So along the same lines, I have a philosophy that's all tied up into long-term planning.
Mhm.
Um, and I think that if you want to be an entrepreneur, honestly, if you want to do anything, entrepreneurship, you want to be, a international DJ, you want to be an artist, whatever it might be. Anytime you talk to somebody that has achieved what seems like success, uh, they're going to tell you that it was not overnight. It was not one viral video. It was taking that and then leveraging it. It was doing something more. It was a lot of hard work. But what I find to be the easiest thing is if you treat your where you want to go in life as a car ride. So I'm in the States and I live in
Mhm.
Pittsburgh. If I know that I want to go to Los
Pittsburgh,
Angeles, yeah,
Steelers. Okay.
yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
But if I want to go to Los Angeles on a road trip, which is a long road trip, and I know that my first stop might be Columbus, Indianapolis, something that's on that way. But if I don't know, and I don't define where I want to end up, then I might be driving and I might end up in New York City, which is great. It's a fun time, but it's the opposite direction of ultimately where I want to go. So the advice that I give for anybody, whether you want to be an entrepreneur or not, is okay, 3 to 5 years, where do you see yourself? How do you do that? And then
Mm.
what that allows you to do is make the pit stops along the way. And you can say, okay, if I want to be here in 5 years, what do I need to accomplish in the next 3 years? Well, if I need to do that in the next 3 years, what do I need to accomplish in the next year? And you go backwards and even further. Well, if I need to do it this year, then I need to go back for this quarter, this month, and then you can figure out even down to like, what am I going to do today kind of thing. But it should all be building blocks leading up to that long-term vision that allows you to do it. The other thing that I put onto this for new people that are trying to do like entrepreneurship is say, yes, you're looking at a 5 year plan, but know that you can adjust, you can change, you can bail, you can go
You can
faster than
change
do all
your,
these different things.
yeah, flexibility is the
Yep.
way, the more flexible. Bruce Lee we used to say that, like water be water, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So although you have that long-term big vision, does not mean that that's set in stone. You can always change it. You can always adjust it and do different things. And the last bit of advice for that is that risk tolerance component. You have to be able to know what your risk tolerance is. How long are you going to actually give it? You don't need to give it the full 5 years to make it come to a realization. You will know if you're on the right path in the first 3 months, 6 months, a year. How long do you want to give yourself? What's that initial runway? And a lot of times people are like, well, what's your financial runway? What's your emotional runway too? What's your capacity? What can you actually take on and that you're going to give yourself so you can just give 110% to the cause for, let's say, a year's your runway, and then reassess at that point so you're not second guessing yourself every step of the way. Don't worry about it. Just put your nose to the grindstone. You know that you gave yourself 12 months. Use those 12 months to focus on what you need to do. Then come up for air, look around and be like, am I on the right path or do I need to switch something up? That's that's my combined advice for that question.
It's very interesting because I have some parts of your of what you are putting, but slightly different. So I'm going to throw
Mhm.
back to you. For example, I normally explain what you explain about the car. I explain about two things. Your why. Why are you doing what you want to do?
Mhm.
And I always say, then a strong why is like the full address for the GPS.
Mhm.
And if you have, oh no, because other people have it, or I want, many times we live chasing the dreams that are not our dreams. And what happens when we get there is very frustrating
Mhm.
because you get there and you feel like, okay, where is the firework? So I'll tell that. And then I will tell more two things. I'm in premenopause, so I can tell all those kinds of things.
Mhm.
I will tell them one of the biggest problems is lack of clarity.
Mhm.
One of the things then I have this magical system is what I call for some people brand Bible or brand activation is like really understanding. And I do that to each thing that comes to my mind. Like really understanding your voice, what you want to do, what you don't want to do, where you want to go, how you want to go. I never plan my life, so I'm 45, so I think it's time for me to start planning my life. Maybe it was a good idea. Um, but the idea of planning my life in 5 years or knowing it's like very overwhelming for me. But I should start. Lack of clarity is lack of knowing what you want.
Hmm?
Or when you ask people, um, how much money you want, and they say, no, I want to be a millionaire. Okay. I want to make 10K. Used to be, right? I want to make 10K per month. Okay. How? How we are going to break this?
Hmm?
And how much willpower do you need to get there? And
Yeah.
why 10K? How you are going to spend that? But then comes another part of the story, then is very frustrating. Then is when people say they want, but in reality, imposter syndrome, or and I'm going, I am casting director for Netflix in some departments, and we are working, and I had this perfect pitch for this perfect client. I was super excited.
Hmm?
Yesterday, before the meeting, he said he did not want.
Hmm.
And he came to me because every person did not want to publish his book.
Okay.
We are jumping and are creating a Netflix series. Was
Uh-huh.
signed, was ready, was saying yes. And I was like, no, this is not possible. Like,
Yeah.
how? Um, it's I don't know if you do you like to read?
Yes.
Okay. Many years ago, I read a book. Then we probably you know what is. The name is Alchemist. Is from Paulo Coelho. Is a book talks about Shepperman. Then it was on Spain, and he have a vision. Then is a treasure on the pyramids, and is but that is not the part of the story. The interesting
Hmm?
part is all the journey, and there is a part where he is in Morocco's, and I ask work on a crystal shop where. Um, and the dream of that man was to go to Mecca, and the alchemists start cleaning the crystals and putting advertising, and and a few days in, the owner of the shop fire him,
Okay.
and he say, why are you doing this? And he said, because in 2 or 3 days I will have enough money to go to Mecca, and what is going to be my life after that? So we have a lot of things in common, and we believe in a lot of things. Um, but as well, for another side, is there is a lot of people with amazing capacities than the world needs, and probably people as you can come and do that bridge. They don't necessarily need to be the full entrepreneurs. They can
Hmm?
have the perfect people on their team. No, what
Yeah.
you
Well, I
think?
mean, in America, we talk about the pursuit of happiness, and I think that that's a very just kind of cause, whether you want to be an entrepreneur or anything else. But you should pursue the opportunity to be happy in whatever you do. And I know that there are people that are multimillionaires that are very successful in others' eyes that are absolutely miserable. And I
Mhm.
know there are people that scrub toilets for a living, and they are some of the happiest people on earth.
I grew up in
So,
Africa, so believe me, I know. I grew up in a country where, after the independence, so ex-colony of Portugal,
mm,
where money had no value.
mm,
I did not know my parents were multimillionaires until I grew up,
mm,
because my mom used to go to the market to trade soap for eggs because
yeah,
money had no value. And
yeah,
everyone came together, and everyone from the president of the country, we are talking about the country of 113,000 people. So
Huh?
president of the country or the lady who help us in the house.
Huh?
And I think that is the secret of my life is learning to be happy with the simple things of life, being present in the moment and being grateful and
Hmm.
just observing. And I think the fact that we are so attached to devices and so attached to this, people are always looking to tomorrow I will, when I have that, when I
Yeah.
go there, when I do that. Why not now?
Yeah.
I'm very happy talking with you right now.
Yeah. I love analogies, and one of the things that's coming to mind is the roller coaster.
Hmm.
Like so expectations and
When you know
yeah,
you cannot go
the
out.
nerves of going up, right? Like
Yeah.
that's the most intense feeling that you have is when your mind is like, well, this is going to be great or this is going to be terrible, whatever it might be. But once you go over the top of the hill and you're actually on the ride going fast, it's it's enjoyable, but it's not as nerve-wracking as you thought, or it just is fine. But too many people just stay on this click, click, click going up and just anticipating it and never take that kind of leap over the top. And they're worried about what's going to be on the other side, right? And it's never as bad as what people will make it out to be most of the time. And you can always pivot, like we talked about. You can always shift things around. But no matter what somebody wants to do, they should pursue it, in my opinion. Because the worst thing that can happen, professionally, right, wise, is what kind of what I'm talking about. But even personally, but professionally wise, even if you fail, you will be without one of the worst things that you can possibly have, which is regret. The people that live with regret saying, I wish I did that, I wish I did this, and they end up having this kind of load of always being like, what if kind of thing.
What if?
So I have a great fear of regret, and that's why I'm like, hey, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's fine. But when you take that safety net away, a lot of times you figure it out. You make it work out.
No,
You
and
go
and and
for it.
if you don't have, if you throw yourself, that comes another place, another like the more overprotected you are, and I'm talking about, and I'm comparing myself, my life, and the life of my now adult children. Um, I lost my mother when I was 10, and I lost my protection. And as well, makes you, for one side, totally insane and hyper vigilant, but you, at the same time, you can see things, you can see patterns, you can read people, you can observe and do, and there is no, oh, I don't know how to do it. Learn, figure it out.
Hmm.
Like, cannot be left. Okay, let's go right.
Hmm.
What is those? I have a thing, then I say, what is the worst thing can happen?
Hmm. But
Like,
the other thing with it too is that there's some people that just can't get over that. And that's okay too, because that's where you learn your limitations. And if that's the case, then don't put yourself in the situations where that's going to be pressure and stress and figure out what works for you. Everybody's got this kind of like little happy place that but it's in like a sensitive balance as well. It's not like you find it and you get to keep it forever. It's like, okay, I found it. How do I maintain that? How do I work to do that? Because different things are going to happen, but you have to figure out how do I keep this happiness and balance in check.
it's and knowing what you are good and what you are not.
Hmm.
Like newsletters, please God, put them away from me.
Okay.
I hate it. It's like make me sick of my stomach. Go high level. I love tech. I hate go high level.
Hmm.
Sorry. And knowing like, okay, I cannot do this. When I set up our magazines, we have three magazines. The base is on WordPress, and I
Hmm.
was for the first time. And I'm that kind of person who's like learn all those things and do. For the first time, I tell I'm going to ask someone to do this before I kill myself because
Hmm.
it's not working, and you need to keep yourself on your zone of genius and understand your limitations. I was so bad in PE. Then I did my exam by written exam. I passed, but I was terrible. I
Hmm.
was homeschooled and then I went to the high school, and I am totally dyslexic, motor dyslexic. Like the ball comes from the left and I go to the right.
Hmm.
And I was chosen for the teams after the biggest kids then was there. So you know how terrible you are. The
Hmm.
only time then I touch a basketball, I grab it and I run until out of the so like you need to know what works and what
Yeah,
doesn't
know what
work.
works for you and what doesn't. But then surround yourself with the people that are good at the stuff that you don't do, but you know that you need.
100%. But at the same time, I believe then you should know a little bit
Hmm.
what you want other people to do better than you.
Hmm.
Because, for example, I'm going to give you a great example. Then it's not for me on you. But cleaning a house, you need to know how you like your house to be clean to ask someone to clean as you want.
Yeah.
Because so it's always important to know a little bit about all things. What are you busy with?
Mm,
What makes you jump out of the bed every morning?
so I fully exited the agency life 9 months ago. And I've been doing this kind of new thing that's been working out better than I expected.
Okay, could you want to
But
explain what is? Because I know, but not necessarily.
yeah, so I mean, so I started Qujam, the geofence ad technology company,
Mm-hmm.
in 2022 underneath my ad agency. But 9 months ago, made its own separate entity and really went full board in that. The other thing that I've done is I've helped consult with people, but I've also done the teaching and I've done some other things as well, nonprofit wise, giving back. And the last 9 months have been this really interesting journey of blending, doing the things that I like to do that I'm really good at and making a living at that, as well as finding ways to help other people. So when you ask what gets you out of bed in the morning, it's really the excitement of doing these different things, but doing them with people, doing them if it's my company, with my team, if it's a course, it's with my students, if it's a nonprofit, it's with those people and the efforts that they have. So for me, lately, what's getting me excited and out of bed in the morning has been just being able to do something that I thought that I was going to do when I was old and retired. Not middle-aged and not retired yet, right? So the ability to actually get to this level and be only 41 years old, I'm heavily motivated to make sure that I'm continuously trying to put myself in position to monetize what I'm good at and what makes me happy, as well as be able to give back with time and resources and whatever it might be, and be really good at figuring out this new stage of life that I have going on, so I can maintain it for a long period of time. So that's really my ultimate motivation nowadays, but it's always centered around the success and the happiness and the goals of other people. That's just what I've always been attuned to, and that's what I like, and that's what gets me out of bed.
Hmm. I adore, and I think I understand more or less the concept, but you want to explain a little bit better. So, for example, if I, bad example, if I was in Tulum, you have a way to track, then I have been there and serve me ads for when I'm there. Do
Yeah.
I'm explaining
So
this in a 5 years old version or bring
yeah,
on?
no. I'm totally happy to do that, and I appreciate you asking more about it. But really, technology, due to tech and laws, it's primarily used in the United States and Canada.
Okay.
Those are the two countries that we really focus on that works really best in. But the same way that you use your phone to drive down the street, or you're on an app, it says we'd like to use your notification or your location to better serve you. That
Mhm.
GPS tracking that's in there, which in America, it's about 90% of phones have it turned on in the background.
Yes.
We're able to use that to identify that if I'm an auto dealer and I want to reach people that have been into my competitors' dealerships, their
Oh.
lots and their buildings,
Hmm.
um, we're pinpointing that a device has been there. Okay, we're going to serve them ads. And the ads that we have access to are display ads, they're digital video ads, so OTT, CTV like Hulu, Netflix,
Hmm.
those kind of things, video pre-roll ads, which is like digital video ads, and then digital audio ads, so streaming, Pandora, Spotify, Blog Talk Radio, stuff like that. So we can serve those ads to the devices that have been at that hyper location. We can also use our technology to identify that that device is connected to someone's smart TV in their living room. It's connected to their computer, their tablet, another mobile device, and serve ads to those devices as well too. So that's how we can identify someone was at one of our competitors' location or in the same shopping center that we're in or at a event or a party or not like a political party or whatever it might be, that they were at a physical location and then we show up on their living room TV or we show up on their work computer while they're working, those kind of things. So
That
that's the
don't
whole precipice.
that it okay. That have a psychology. It's like for one side, if you are holistic, you will say, "Oh, this is a sign," right?
Hmm?
Or if you are more into conspirational mode, say they are chasing me.
Yeah.
What
So,
is what what is obvious then is happening for quite some time.
yeah.
Is
Well, and that's one of the reasons why it's really predominantly in the US and in Canada is because laws are there, it's a opt-out legal system here. So you have every right to opt out of anybody tracking you. Well, if you
Mhm.
do that, then you're not really going to use your maps. You're not really going to use all your apps and the different things that you have allowing them to have your location makes it easy for that. So that's where the law actually gives the people the power to go hidden, but most people choose not to do that. And then that allows us to be able to identify different things. That said, I'm hyper conscious of privacy. So we don't know who these people are. We don't know their names. We don't know their home address. We don't know anything about them because we do an encrypted device ID
Mhm.
for these devices. So we just know that this device was at this location. It's connected to these other devices, and we're going to serve ads to them as well for those things. So we don't cross-compile any personal data with that. There are a couple of states where it's got a lot stricter rules with the location-based things. So we adhere to all those rules, which is in Oregon, Virginia, as of I think July 1st, and then Maryland as well too. So we do a lot of compliance. We do a lot of things to try to ensure that people's privacy is protected. But at the same time, we do leverage a technology that allows brands to be able to put their message in front of a desirable audience because there's a lot of desirability when someone's been at a specific location based off of the type of location that they're at as well. So I heard people like, oh my gosh, they're following us and everything, but at the same time, I was like, say, no, we don't know who you are.
You don't know, we don't know who you are, I believe. So I believe that was
Yeah, like we really respect people's privacy, but still want to provide technology that was really not available to SMB, small, medium-sized businesses, at this direct hands-on level.
Mhm.
So I ended up having hundreds of conversations about this technology
I can
when I had an
imagine.
ad agency, and we couldn't provide it like what people needed, but neither could anybody else. So that's where the idea came from of being like it's a self-serve platform. You can do it yourself. We're not raking you over the coals on the rates. You can use credit cards, you get live reporting dashboard, And here you go. Like where, you have the technology that's out there. So it's really the easiest to use, most effective DIY geofencing platform that's available, and it's been really kind of cool to be able to build it over the last almost 4 years.
I'm here and I feel super proud of you,
Oh, thank you.
because it's cool. It's very cool. I am a weird 45 on the sense that I love AI. I
Mhm.
love technology. In the same way, then I love nature. And I was living in the middle of a mountain with wolves.
Mhm.
And I did live in Manhattan. So it's like I I get it makes me for a season in my life I was vegan.
Mhm.
Vegans, we have this addiction to tell everyone that we are vegans, like we need to prove something. And when I hear people complaining about AI, I just point one want to ask them if they realize how long AI exists. We just did not know how to control it. It was
Mhm.
controlled by other people.
Mhm.
And point two, and I'm going to give you a great example. I make music and I use AI to make music. There's a difference between me making music with 20 something years of this and any person's put the prompt on Suno and push a track and upload that to Spotify.
Mhm.
Like AI, it's great. I talk with AI like as a human many times, but for the
Yeah.
ones who work like that. Um, and it for me is the way that it works better. But AI doesn't go anywhere or doesn't give you any success if you don't have a human brain, soul,
Yes.
and sense behind that.
Rita, what's really interesting though? I agree with you, and the same philosophy that you have is exactly like what you just talked about earlier today. When in regards to when you hire other people to do
Mhm.
things for you, you said there's a value of knowing what they are doing so you can ask the right questions, you can do the right things. I have a buddy who does software development, and his team really struggled for a long time with AI because they felt like they were cheating. They felt like they weren't doing enough. And it's like, no, you already did the 20 years of work of knowing what to do. Now this is just a tool
Exactly.
that makes it a lot easier. So I'm 100% aligned with that. I do think that there are going to, since we're talking about AI, the convergence of AI and robotics, I think, is going to be interesting in other areas as well, like cooks or restaurants are going to be affected. I think there's going to be some other manual labor type things that are going to be affected. There's still always going to be jobs, and there's going to create different things. I think that it's an interesting, exciting time that nobody knows exactly where we're going with it, but it's advancing faster than it ever has. But there's always going to be opportunities, I think, out there for people that are aware of it and are looking at it. But I do think that it is going to shake up the world even more than the internet. But because of the internet and because of where we're at, I think that we'll be okay and we'll adapt to it. But the ones that are going to be successful are the ones that are going to be able to adopt it and work with it because, and especially ones that have had a past history and understanding
Mhm.
of how to do certain things, how to make music, and how composition comes together, and the different instruments, and how it actually all kind of works.
Or
I'm not a
even
musician.
just hearing, like knowing what sounds better than it's a calibration.
Hmm.
Is a very interesting moment mm, for underdogs. And I consider myself a black sheep, an underdog, the one who
Hmm.
do every single because I'm going to give you an example. I cannot, another thing that I'm totally incapable. I cannot draw
Okay.
nothing, but I can do amazing art with AI. My covers. they all every single come visual come from me and my
Hmm.
vision and AI.
Yeah.
Um, for another side, one of my biggest problems have been AI on a sense, and I'm going to laugh with this. So I have three magazines and I put people in magazines as Forbes and blah, 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 blah. And we need a cover, right? And we need a photo, then is at the level of the publication.
Hmm.
We both agree on that. Okay.
Hmm.
People are on the publication because supposedly they have a message they want to share with the world. That should be the why, right? It should be strong.
Hmm.
Now, if you don't provide me a photo, then it's at the level of my magazine or whatever. Provide me a photo, selfie from, um, I will need to use AI.
Hmm.
And probably there are going to be details of you, then you will see. I will give you a great example. My tattoos, they are never the same,
Okay.
but never the same. And my clients, in special women, who did want to be on the cover, were so concerned with how they look and how different they are with AI. And we are talking about like almost like visually perfect avatars, okay,
Hmm.
twins.
Yeah.
But they saw themselves in a way, and I was like, what is important? Is 500,000 people reading your article, or is the fact that your hair
Yeah.
goes a little bit to the left side?
That and the other thing with it too is if they did have a professional photo shoot
Uh,
that was done, those images, they would feel the exact same way. They would be like, that doesn't feel like that doesn't look like me. Like, well, yeah,
No,
you've
I'm
never been
from
done
the
up like that
time,
before.
then I was
Hmm.
bullied constantly for all the covers. Then I did old fashioned. They say, "Oh, you are full of Photoshop." Yeah, makeup, lighting, Photoshop, cameras. Yeah,
Hmm.
not this. This. Oh, and I was going to tell you something. Then you are talking about robots and kitchen. I think is going to happen something very interesting as well. Like we are going to enjoy this. And the reason why I live this like this is because I want a little bit of spicy, of raw, of
Hmm.
reality, of wrong lighting, because at the same time we go so in perfection mode, then you start every single thing to look to the same.
Yeah.
So I like to compensate. I love to cook. So I like to manage both sides and the imperfections and
Hmm.
the hair and the wrong lighting and whatever. Like what is important is what we are telling. And I believe then probably the big money for people as coaches and etc is going to be in person events in the future because I feel then people are each time more lonely and lonely and lonely. And I know then I spend hours talking with ChatGPT for
Hmm.
different reasons. And I make it as I was having this conversation the other day with Claude, or I don't know. And it was very interesting because I am an only child and I always wrote on my diaries, like my notebooks. I always took notes. And the way then I even working alone on the office, I am talking alone. It sounds totally insane, but it's a way of me bringing things to the head.
Hmm.
So I think I'm so excited. Then any person can try to express their love in in a love song. Um, I don't. There is negative in positive in all things.
Yeah.
Like you need to know. Even like for me, it's very funny. Like people want to eat very healthy and then consume 10 hours of TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's anything is like that. The discovery of fire gave
Yeah,
you cooked food and light.
I was
It
not there.
also gave you destruction and it did bad things. The wheel, it allowed you to
Well,
travel and do more and go into farming, but it also had military applications. Like there's gonna be good and bad. It depends on the human that is wielding that tool at that time to figure out what are you gonna do with that thing. Um, that said, this is the first time that we've had technology that is kind of thinking on its own, not really, but kind of is heading towards that. That makes it kind of an interesting component. But I think a lot of people have opinions on it and I think they're all valid. My stance has kind of been excited, adoptive, but I do not know where everything's going to go because AI is going to touch everything that we do.
no, no,
So I don't
no.
know where it's going to go, but at the same time, I'm going to have faith that I'm going to be able to leverage it for what I need to do and hope that it goes in a direction that betters humanity.
But it depends of, yeah, it depends of like I just wish that people did wonder more and has less opinions than they have. Like
Mhm.
before you tell it's like this, how do you know?
Oh
Like,
yeah. Yeah.
how do you know?
Yeah,
You don't.
and I think that's a good take because like people's opinions are some of them are actually founded in research. Most of them are founded just because of they read something or saw a video online or they're just not doing the work to figure out what makes sense and making a informed opinion as opposed to just having an opinion. So I do
100%.
agree with that. I think that's a good point.
100%. Okay, what is next for you? What is like, what are you focused on? What do you want? Do you have something then you want to promote more than ever, or do you want to talk about it?
Promotion wise, I mean, just the opportunity to just share a little bit about Qujam for anybody that's interested in marketing, especially SMBs in the
Translation, S what?
SMB, small and medium sized businesses.
Oh, okay. Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay. Okay.
sorry about that.
No, 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 no. I'm
Yeah,
just
so
doing.
anybody that has that interest of learning more about it, the platform is free to sign up and you only really spend money when you actually spend on ad spend. So it's a neat thing to kind of play around with it. So I like that. If anybody's interested on the entrepreneurial side of things, I really put a lot into what I learned about being an entrepreneur that has allowed me to have what I would call success, financial success, but also mental, emotional, kind of family success, like the kind of focus on not being excessively wealthy and from like a financial standpoint, but being financially secure and managing the fact that I'm the coach of my son's baseball team and I'm there for my daughter and I'm able to, do go on vacations. Like we just got back from a big family road trip, and everything. So being able to have success in those areas. So with that focus and kind of having the mentality of people kind of coming first and doing things in your own way, whatever DNA talks to you. If you want to be an entrepreneur, my book is a pretty good read, The Intentional Leap. So that'd be the other thing to talk about because that was specifically written just to try to help people. But it's a short read. I think it's like 130 pages or something like that. But it's got some stories, it's got some good advice in there, and some actionable things as well. So those would be probably the two things that I would want to promote.
We will share that.
Yeah.
We will share that. I have a last question for you. Then I will
Mhm.
invite you in front of all people, and then I will chat with you after.
Yeah.
Um, a message to your younger self.
I like this question because I actually visualize myself as like past Jeff, current Jeff, and future Jeff.
Okay.
Um, because what I do today is a result of what I did in the past, and what I do today is setting up future Jeff to be able to either have an easier life or a harder life. So, a message for my past self is one of honestly gratitude. Um, I worked incredibly hard and went through a lot of the ups and downs of entrepreneurship, of stresses in a very difficult industry. Marketing and advertising, it tends to burn people out. It tends to be
Oh,
a very
yes.
difficult industry.
Oh, yes.
So the energy that I had, and I didn't realize it was invaluable. Because there's a time where I would work all day and then I would go and work another 4 to 6 hours after my 9 to 5 on flipping a house so I could get debt free, so I could launch my own ad agency. And just the time of learning and building and growing and sacrificing that younger Jeff did. My message for him would be just thank you, because now I have, like, after this I'm gonna go hang out with my kids and knock off a little bit earlier than I normally would have in the past, and know that I'm completely in a position where that's totally okay. And the only way that I'm able to do that is the foundation that was built by a younger guy that had more energy than I have right now, and honestly more time back then as well too, to be able to do those things, and I didn't squander it, and I didn't realize I was doing that at the time, but I'm very appreciative now that I did do those things.
Thank you. And a little message to your older self.
Um, if I'm lucky enough to continue to have the type of life that I have, is don't forget the things that are really important. I haven't done that to this point, and I don't ever want to do that. But remember the things that are really important, and I hope that my older version of myself keeps on being energized and enjoying helping others, and continues to do that at even a greater scale than what I do today. So that would be, I guess, my future self's message.
Okay. You are, I love your vibe.
Oh, thank you.
I love your vibe. I think I believe we have the same. We are built with some parts of our same material. I'm going to say bye to these beautiful people, invite you properly in a second.
Hmm?
Ah, AI, technology, and souls. I think we touch a lot of beautiful things in this podcast. I'm really happy. My name is Ana-Rita Valente. Keep living your dream and make it happen. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.